Mr. Wheels, rolling in clean, Mr. Wheels, you know what I mean. Back up, make room alive. Mr. Wheels, still in the light. Go, Mr. Wheels, go, Mr. Wheels, let it roll.
Still can't smell, and I got a couple blood clots removed, so I was pretty against them requiring us to get vaccinated. But besides that, I support putting America first. I think that's important.
How is Trump doing that?
Well, I know people don't like talking about this, but I think the tariffs incentivize American manufacturing. It may raise prices short term, but I think bringing our factories and
But
onshoring
didn't Trump say no new wars, no regime changes?
Yeah, I don't agree with
I'm a peaceful president. I don't want a war. But here we
Yeah,
are. We're at war, billions of dollars a day. How is that
yeah,
America
I don't
first?
agree. I don't agree with that. I hope it stops soon.
Yeah, but we warned you guys about it.
Well,
And the Trump even blamed Harris, saying, "Hey, if you vote for Harris, we'll go to war in Iran." That's a complete
yeah.
lie.
Well, I mean, who knows? No one has a crystal ball, but I think I'd rather have President Trump in office than someone else during this time.
What metric? Based on what metric?
Competency.
Competency.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's fucking falling asleep every day, all day long, at different meetings. What are you talking about? Competency? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I don't like talking bad about any president, but I don't think Biden could. I don't think he was running the country.
We're
I don't
not
think he
talking
could
about Biden.
formulate
We're
a
talking about
sentence.
Trump. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm
I'm
just
talking about
comparing
Trump.
him to the
The
previous
Biden
president.
has not run for office in a year and a half. I don't care about that. I'm talking about Trump.
Well, I'm saying compared to our last president, I think he's very competent.
How is that possible? He's falling
What
asleep
do you
on every
mean?
meeting that they have on TV. How is
Well,
that working out when he's falling asleep at the helm?
I don't know. Some of the
The
stuff I
world is
watch, he
fucking
looks tired,
laughing at
but
us. The
a
world
lot
is
of
laughing at us for voting an incompetent president.
I don't think anyone's laughing at us.
Oh, you clearly have not been paying attention.
I mean, we took Maduro in less than 3 hours. I don't think
Oh
that's
my!
anything to laugh at.
The European countries are laughing at us.
European countries need our help.
Australian people are laughing
Australia,
at us.
listen,
You know.
the people of the UK are not laughing at us. They
Oh,
see
yeah, they
what's
are.
going on in their
Trust me, they
country.
are. I know quite
No,
a few
you
European
know the
people that live.
Reform UK
Huh?
party. You know what I'm talking about? The Reform UK party.
Oh yeah, yeah. MAGA ideology went over there, so
No,
yeah, it's
it's
ridiculous.
because a lot of well, I think the uproar started when someone got stabbed multiple times and then put in handcuffs. And
What are you talking about?
you didn't hear about this?
That's random. I have no idea what you're referring to.
Well, there's been a lot of these gather. I don't know. I wouldn't call them protests, but it seems more like a gathering of people in the UK that are I think marching and supporting the Reform Party. And I agree with them. I think it's important to
Yeah,
keep
but it's based on a ideology similar to
law and
MAGA.
order. What's that?
But it's built on the same ideology as MAGA.
Well, MAGA doesn't have some sort of ideology. We just put
Yeah,
our
it
nation.
does.
I think we should just prioritize making sure that the people within our nation have the support and
But the thing is,
security they
everybody's
need.
not afford. I can't afford gas. I can't afford health care. I
Yeah,
can't afford.
gas
I
is
had to drop my
expensive.
health care because I'm paying $500 a month.
Do you get
And
Medicare?
unfortunately, I'm stepping down from full time to part time in my
Hmm.
job so I can get back on Medicare. It's more affordable for me to work part time and get Medicare. It'd be a
Did,
lot cheaper.
did
I'm
your
saving
employer
six
offer?
hundred dollars a month.
Did your employer offer medical insurance?
Yeah, they did, but The premium was $500 a month. My medication, my
It was
portion
that
of the
much a month.
medication is over $600 a month. So
Is that because
technically,
you're
I'm paying over
disabled?
$1,300 just healthcare alone.
Is that because you're disabled?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's brutal.
That's why I advocate for universal health care so I don't go broke.
Well, I think that we need to support people like you, but I don't think that we need universal health care across the
Do you
board.
not believe that universal health care is a right
No.
for everybody?
No, I worked for a Canadian company, and when those people get sick or injured, they needed immediate care, they would fly across the border to get it because they had a really
Well,
long wait
that's
list.
their choice, you know. But the thing is, I'm waiting for a specialist right now. For me, it's been
For what?
almost for I got lymphedema, and I had to see a vein doctor. And my
Right,
insurance
right.
at the time couldn't make an appointment until about 6 months later.
Do you call your insurance when you need an
Yes, I
appointment, or do
do.
you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Do you know? Do you? I don't know what insurance you have, but if you go online, you should be able to see all the specialists that are within your network, and then you could look at it
They
by
are in
area.
my network.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
See, the
listen.
argument, oh, we gotta wait for a year. Dude, it fucking happens here. Not just in socialized medicine in other countries. It happens here more so. And
I don't think it happens here
see
as
the thing
bad
is,
as it.
see the thing, I'd rather wait than go in
Hmm.
debt.
Well, I think it depends how severe your needs are.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, for me, as an individual person, um, it varies, of course. But the thing is, for me, I can wait. I'd rather wait knowing I'm not going to go in debt. Right now, I'm in debt over $30,000 in debt, a medical bill alone.
Yeah, I'm in debt too with medical bills. I broke my
But yet
jaw
you
last
don't
year.
advocate for universal health care where our
Well,
taxpayers' money.
one thing I don't.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you know do you know the Koch
Hmm.
brothers?
The Coca-Cola brothers?
No, the Koch brothers.
No, no.
KOCH. It's pronounced Koch brothers.
Oh, no, no.
Okay, they are a financial wizards. We got to get a billion. They are worth billions of dollars. So
Mm-hmm.
they have a think tank, and
Yeah,
what they do is they did a study, a multiple year study of the implications of having universal health care. And
yeah,
they found out each individual person in America would save over $1,000 a year
yeah. I believe
without
it.
going to debt.
But
And their taxes are
I,
paying for what it is. The only thing they might pay out of pocket if it's
yeah,
medication, like $5 or $10.
right.
And but this is purely anecdotal. My
Right.
father, has asthma, so he relies on
Mm-hmm.
inhalers. Okay,
Right.
and he went to England for vacation, and he lost his inhaler.
Mm-hmm.
That exact brand name inhaler, whereas it's worth here in America over
Yeah,
$200 for
yeah.
one, just one.
What
Just
was it
one.
there? $10?
No, five.
Yeah, I believe it.
Why the
I think,
fuck? Why the fuck do we have to
I
pay
agree with you. I don't
ten
know.
times more than a country, European country? What the fuck are
Because
we doing that?
yeah, I think those pharmaceutical companies and medical device companies rip
Well,
off
a
the
hundred
insurance.
percent, 100%. It's not just. I'm not trying to say we need to take away this whole niche.
I
We need
agree.
to take away this whole notion of expenditures on Medicare
I
and
agree. I
healthcare because
totally
right
agree.
now healthcare is a for profit. You do realize
Right.
before 1980, all
Hmm.
the insurance companies were non-profit until recently.
Yeah, I think I truly I agree with what you're saying. I think that there needs to be some sort of regulation on those pharmaceutical and medical device companies. I think it's
See, right
absolutely it's a
now,
ripoff.
I'm still
Yeah,
with my employer, and I'm gonna be.
yeah,
I'm not stepped down yet. I have to wait for about another 3 to 4 months because
yeah.
I'm going through the process of getting a brand new wheelchair, and I don't want to disrupt that. So I'm
Right.
staying
I
full
hear you.
time until I
It
can
would be
get the
stupid to
wheelchair
leave.
and so on, so I can step
Yeah,
down by September or October.
yeah. I hear you. Well, what do you do for work?
Rather not say.
No worries.
It's in technology.
You're in tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been in tech? For a long time.
Off and on over 20 plus years.
Wow. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I just think I don't know. I think the real issue is, and it's bipartisan. I think that the people who lobby for the politicians, both Democrat and Republican, I think that they kind of enforce the legislation that gets passed, and they donate a lot to these politicians, and the politicians have no
Well, I
incentive to change
mean,
that.
that's why I advocate to get rid of lobbying,
Yeah, I
get
do
rid of
too.
lobbyists, and I think we need to completely take Citizens United away,
Yes, I agree.
get rid of them, take money out of politics. There are I forget what country it is, but there's a country where a politician runs, they have a 4 month window, okay,
Right.
and they have a set amount of money by the government where they get maybe $100,000,
Yeah, I think that'd
and
be a
they
lot
have to
better
spend that money within that 4 month window, and they have to
for
use that
marketing or
money for
whatever. Yeah,
campaigning, and that's what
yeah,
I believe we need to do that here, so it
I
won't
agree.
be so people won't be greedy about that thing.
Well, I think it's both Republicans and Democrats that take a ton of money, and then because their donors gave them so much money, they have no reason to pass legislation that would adversely affect their donors. When in reality, they don't
Well,
really
yeah,
care
I mean,
about the general public.
but ultimately, I'd like to get rid of the whole of these ideology, confinements regarding to parties like Republican. I'm a Republican, or
Yeah,
a Democrat. That kind of thing. I need me to get rid of those because that's where
yeah,
I think where a lot of people are like, I'm party line only. I'm only a Democrat. I'm
right,
only
right.
Republican. I think we need to get that to
It's
get
like
out.
people don't think for themselves anymore. They let other people choose what to think. When like I agree with a lot of things Democrats say, and I disagree with a lot of things Republicans say, but it's a shame that you have to think a certain way, or people tell you have to think a certain way. You know?
Well, I'm a progressive. If you want to go
Yeah.
under that ideology, I believe in universal health care. I believe in the government needing to stay out of cultural wars.
Right.
Cultural
Right.
war right now. The Republican Party is advocating for cultural war, but the thing is, that should not be the issue. The cultural wars, the Republicans always bring up the trans issue. They always bring up the LGBTQ
Yeah.
community, and every fucking year during Pride, we have these numbskulls. Oh, men's health thing. Well, can we not do both? The Veteran Month. I'm like, we already have 4 months and 5 days of recognizing the military, the veterans,
Hmm.
and the people that are involved with that. So this whole thing is that the Republican Party is advocating for culture wars and dividing the country.
Yeah.
And the Democrats, I have my major problems with Democrats, but they are trying to steer away from that and focus on policy. But the
Hmm.
Republican Party is not doing that. So the Republican Party is continuing to do propaganda videos. They spent over $250 million on it on anti-LGBTQ community
Hmm.
and smearing a lot of innocent people.
Yeah. Well, I don't agree with the anti-gay gay propaganda, all that stuff. But I do not agree with like when I was in college, I felt like it was really forced on us.
The what?
Like the what is it called? It's like gender studies or something, or I don't know what it was
Gender
called. But
studies always been around for hundreds of years. What are you
yeah,
talking
but
about?
I don't think that should be. I think that should be a specified category of like
Why not?
if research.
Why not?
I don't think that should be a prerequisite.
Why not?
Well, because I like for me, I'm very religious, and I don't agree with
Well,
with
the best thing for you to do is not to take that class.
well, I
How's
had
that?
to as a prerequisite.
Well,
You know what I
sorry.
mean?
Well, you
No,
can.
it's all right. I mean, I'm
What
not
you can
saying
do
woe
is you
me.
can advocate on your according to your faith and say, "Hey, I don't want to do it." People do it
Well,
all the time.
I I uh, I don't want to piss anyone off, so I'm just gonna go along with the flow. You know?
Well, and apparently it's not bad enough for you to drop out.
No, I gotta get a degree if I'm spending all that money. You know, so I did. I finished and I got a degree.
All right. Well, I mean, gender studies had to do with the fact of the contribution of both
Listen,
genders. That's all it is.
yeah, I have no issue with the gay community or the queer community, like none at all. But I don't agree with a man saying they're a woman or participating in women's sports or that type of thing. I don't agree with that.
Again, that
Yeah,
is a topic I'm not going to talk about because I'm not trans myself.
yeah.
Unless there's an individual in the comments that is trans and they want to talk about it, I don't mind doing that. If they are a representation of the community, I can bring them up here and they can talk to you about it.
hmm
Do you mind?
No, it's all right.
Do you
Yeah,
want
if you
to?
have any,
All right. Hey, Stevie, I don't know you. Are you by any chance
or
a
not, I
trans
think that
person? If you are, comment in the comment and I'll bring you up.
I don't dislike the people. I just don't think that I should be forced to recognize them as a biological
Oh, oh well,
like
okay. I'm looking for someone who is a trans individual person. Okay, I got somebody here that'll be willing to talk about it. Hey, Fang,
Ability.
I know you're not trans, but I figured that you know a lot about that kind of stuff. So you have the floor, my friend.
Absolutely. It's Whitey, right?
yeah.
What did you do today that was forced upon you?
Well, nothing was forced. Everything I did was at my leisure.
What have you had forced upon you at any point in time?
Nothing. I live in a free country.
Okay, that's not true. So, in this life, there are certain things that are forced
Well,
upon
there's
you.
consequences, but I can do
No, it's
whatever I
not
want.
consequences. I said forced upon.
Like
So,
what?
the things that are forced upon you are things like vaccines. You would not have gone to school without a vaccine unless you had a
Oh
religious
yeah, I
exception.
did. I
So,
did
if
get
you
a
had a
vaccine.
religious exception, then that was something that you were able to be provided with
Yeah, but that was
by the
years ago.
government. So then there were other things that are forced upon you, like if you don't work, you don't eat, and the only way that you can get out of that is if you have a disability. There are details to certain situations. So when you make comments like "I don't want things forced upon me," you then have to back it up with how that is the case. So please tell me how anything that has to do with other people has been forced upon you.
Okay, like I get what you're saying. When I was in college, I had to. Uh, in my what I was just telling the host is I had to take a prerequisite course called gender studies, and I had to write papers talking about how gender is a spectrum, and that it doesn't matter how you were born biologically. That if these people want to identify, if a man wants to identify as a woman, that's their right. I just don't agree with any of that. And
And you
I
didn't
did
have to
get
go to that
forced.
school. You didn't have to get that degree. You could have stayed in your Christian fundamentalist mentality and not actually followed science. You could have done that.
Well, I
That is
went to
your
a
right to
Catholic.
do so. Now, if you don't want to do that, then you have to live in the world that we all live in, which is the
I
world that
didn't.
has
I, wa-
hypotheses that can be proven by science. And those things can be broken down and explained to you. If you want to be in denial, you actually have the freedom to do so. There are places and pockets in this country that you can do just that. Just like if you go to Nevada, you can actually engage in the legal prostitution. Every place else, you will go to jail. These are details that you have to accept in life or don't. You can decide to live off the grid. These things are actually available to you where you can do all types of things in this country. But you have decided that it is too much to be put upon to learn. And once you had to learn, you would come and give grievance to folks on the internet that was created by people who, some of them actually were a part of the community that you do not like. So these are things that you have to mitigate in your mind or don't. If you don't want to, that's cool. But everybody is going to be able to explain to you in detail why it is short-sighted to act as if you are being forced to do so. Thank you.
Listen, all right. I agree with what you're saying. I didn't have to. I didn't have to go to that university. They did offer me a scholarship, so it was financially smart for me to graduate from that university, and I didn't want to piss anyone off while I was in that course. So I just kind of just followed the rules and did what I was supposed to do. But those are things that, as a voter and as living in a democratic society, I can vote against those things, and that's something that I support with the right wing to not make those priorities or make those topics a priority. I think that that should be left out of university altogether, and especially as a prerequisite. Okay, and the other thing you were saying that if I could have chose a different university, I went to a all boys Catholic high school, and they taught those things there too. Like you would think it would be a very conservative right wing, but they still taught those ideas there.
It's
And the other
almost
thing
as if
is
they actually knew that the science, regardless of whether they were conservative when it came to supply side economics, slash some idea of the ability to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, had nothing to do with science. And that gender actually has nothing to do with science, that it actually has to do with what? Social constructs, and that sex is something that you can break down in a more genetic way. But even gender, if you were able to actually retain the things that were taught to you, you would have learned that there are portions of gender that do go along with science. You know, the brain. And the brain actually influences how you identify. And so if you were able to take that time to learn those things and not reject them as you completed your studies, you wouldn't come up on the internet and tell people things that you aren't actually privy to. So thank you so much again.
yeah, it's just something I just don't agree with. I don't agree with.
You don't agree with science. You don't agree with
I
the
know
fact
I
that
do.
you don't know anything. So that's the problem, sir, is that you're not disagreeing with something. You're closing your mind off to something.
No, I don't think that a man could become a woman. I don't think that's possible through science. I think that the only way you can come to that conclusion is through the view that gender is on a spectrum, and
Hey,
gender
And
is
how
not
can
on a
you break that
spectrum.
down real
Gender
quick?
is
And I promise you
binary
I'm done. So tell me, break it down for me why it is impossible to do so.
because gender isn't on a spectrum. It's binary.
What
You're
is
either
this? What
a
is the
male or
binary?
a
Tell me
female,
what the binary is.
male or female.
So what happens when people are intersex, sir?
yeah.
Uh, I don't know what that means, intersex.
Exactly. So now we've already reached the end. We've already reached the end of your ability to actually have this conversation. Thank you.
What is intersex? You don't have XY or XX chromosomes? Is that so? What does that mean?
No, they need to have both.
You can't have both.
Wait, hey,
Doesn't make any
hold on
sense.
1 second. Hey, Julia, I saw your flag. Are you trans by any chance? Because I'd like to have you represent. Make a comment that you're trans if you are. Please. Hold on. Okay, good. I'll bring them up here. Okay, I want Julia to have the floor for now. To talk to Whitey. Julia, welcome. How old are you by TikTok purpose?
43,
All right,
sure.
thank you. You have the floor.
I have one simple question that would start this conversation up. I would like him to name one thing in biology that is binary. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were gone.
No, I'm here. What's binary is your chromosomes. You can be XX or XY.
No, that's not true. You can be a lot of other
It is
things.
true.
It's just X, XXY, XXXY, the list goes on.
No, I'm talking about specifically for your sex,
But then
your
it's not
gender.
binary anymore because there's more than two.
There's not more than two.
We just went over it.
I don't know where you're getting your information from, but
You
it's
said there is
wrong.
more. We just accomplished the fact that there is more than XX, more than XY.
I don't know where you're getting this information from. It's just
Try
wrong.
Google, because I mean, it's widely known.
Why don't we both look it up on Google at the same time?
Okay, is this just complete denial? Because you have
No,
no
it's just I'm just
Hey,
you're denying reality.
Whitey, you
That's the
have
issue.
you have a trans individual right in front of you. I think she knows what
Listen,
the fuck
when
she's
you're
talking
what
about.
does trans mean? What does the suffix mean? It's a Latin phrase. What does that mean? What
On
does
the other
trans
side
mean?
of.
Exactly. So when you're saying I'm a trans woman, that means I'm on the other side of woman. I'm a man. Okay, it's not saying that I was born intersex or I was born with multiple chromosomes.
I didn't
It's
say
not
I
a real
was.
thing.
Hey, I got a question. What's your chromosomes?
What's my what?
What are your chromosomes?
Male.
That's not chromosomes.
My
What are your
chromosomes
chromosomes?
are male heterosexual.
What are the chromosomes? What chromosomes do you
That's
have?
not you.
Saying you're male, that doesn't answer the question.
Well, I'm definitely not intersex
How do you know?
because I have a male reproductive organs.
So do some intersex people.
I've never heard of someone being intersex.
We know you're cooked already. We know.
Have you ever had your chromosomes tested?
Yeah.
I
You
call
lying.
bullshit. I call bullshit on
No.
that one.
Yeah, you lying like hell, my guy.
No medical professional would do it without a reason to suspect that you need them tested.
Well, I got
Thank you.
I got my ancestry.com.
Oh, bullshit.
Ancestry.com does not do it.
Well, ancestry.com told me what my ancestors were, if they were male or female. No, I didn't have any intersex
That
people
doesn't
in
mean
my
you're not
ancestry.
intersex.
I didn't have any transgenders in my ancestry.
That doesn't matter. You could be
What is that?
transgender.
How would they know the gender of the person if
You have to have a very expensive genetic testing to get your chromosomes tested.
Okay. Well, I know that I'm an XY chromosome
How do you know?
because I'm a man.
That doesn't say. Just an X chromosome would make you
Literally,
No, it's not
testing.
true because
um,
females are XX.
Stop it. So again, just quite literally, just recently in the last few years in the Olympics, they actually found out that someone who identified as a woman, who you would see as a woman, who had the genitalia of a woman, that they tested and found out that that she genetically had the markers of male. And so you just don't know anything about science at all, sir. But thank you for coming to this TED Talk. And please continue, Julia. I appreciate you.
All right. So, what percent of the population is intersex?
According to you, 0, because only XX
No,
and that's why it
according
exists.
to you.
So thank you for coming to the TED Talk yet again to prove
I
yourself
can-
wrong
I
in
can
5 different
look it
ways.
Up. I can look it up.
Yeah, look it up and let me know.
You should have looked it up when
Yeah.
you decided that everything that anybody says that has to do with
What is the percentage of population of intersex individuals?
I'm just going based off of science. That there's
I'm just
male
going
and
based
female.
on your hypothesis that none of the things that science has taught you are
Hypothesis.
real. Thank you
It's
so
a
much, sir.
scientific theory.
Whitey
Tested
knows
and
it all
measurable.
and is asking people to look up things for him. Whitey, who has told us that nothing that we say is actually true.
I don't know why
All
you're
right.
getting so.
According to Willie Hub website. It says here between 0.018% percent up to 1.8%, depending on entirely of intersex is defined, depending on that.
And that would be worldwide, correct? Not just in the United States.
It didn't. Let me put it in the United States.
Because if it's the entire world, then we're looking at quite a lot of people. Even if not, that's still quite a lot of people to establish the fact that it's outside of the binary.
I had to step away. I'm sorry about that. But I'm back. Has he said anything like remotely worth thinking about?
He said, please look something up for me that I now know exists, that I denied the entire.
In the United States.
I think Wills was looking it up. I think Wills was looking it up for him.
And that's Pride Month. I should get paid for doing transphobes research.
I can't stay up too long, but I did hear him say that he's Christian, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what was Jesus?
What? You asking me?
Yeah, what was Jesus?
He was a man.
A Palestinian Jewish man, correct?
Oh, I don't think he was born anywhere near
No.
Palestine.
Yes, it's a simple yes or no.
No, he was Jesus.
Based off the
Nazareth.
Bible,
He was born in Bethlehem.
based off the Bible, he is a Palestinian Jewish man.
No, he was born in Bethlehem.
Based off the Bible, he is a Palestinian Jewish man.
No, based off the Bible, he was born in Bethlehem.
Where you're born doesn't determine anything.
Okay, and he lived
Where's
in
Where's
Nazareth.
Bethlehem?
It's in current day. Well, it's still considered Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
Where is it?
It's right outside of Israel.
Where's Gaza?
Palestinian, dude.
I got a good one.
He was a Jewish
Palestine,
Palestinian
dude.
man. Yeah, he was a Jewish Palestinian man, and we know that the Jewish religion. Also, if we believe in Jesus, and I'm Pentecostal.
During the time of the Bible, it was Rome.
It was what?
It's
It
wrong.
was considered Roman territory.
No,
wasn't
that's not even close. What are you
I
talking
got a
about?
good one for him to think about, though.
Pontius Pilate owned the land.
Wait, do you
What?
believe in immaculate conception?
Yeah, I do.
So, based on his chromosomes, there was no Y chromosomes. Jesus was trans. He said he was a man.
Well, you're telling me that Jesus was a transgender?
Yep.
He must have been. He called himself he, but he had no Y chromosome.
Do you think God is a transgender?
I didn't say anything about God. I
Jesus
said
is
you
God.
believe in immaculate conception, which means
Yeah.
there was no Y chromosome.
My guy, Jesus. Yeah, the Y chromosome. It's always X because of the egg. You should do more research. But being that there wasn't no semen, there wouldn't be any other chromosome.
So
Did you
Jesus
not know
was
that?
What?
Yeah. So Jesus was like Wonder Woman, formed out of clay and
Yeah.
imbued with
Jesus-
Zeus's powers.
Okay. So because of the egg it automatically carries the X chromosome. Egg always carries the X chromosome. But Jesus called himself him, which would make him a trans individual because he had no other chromosome, which he only had the X chromosome, which we know identify with the female chromosome first.
Jesus had XY chromosomes.
No, he didn't.
No,
there
he
was no
didn't.
semen.
There was no semen.
There was no
Yes,
semen.
There
You
doesn't
already
need to be.
admitted that.
Yes, it does.
What did God call his son?
I don't care what
A
he
son.
called him. That means he was a trans person.
You don't get
There
to
was no
determine
other chromosome, my guy.
what God is. God is a man.
There
Jesus
was
was
no
a man.
other. No. There was no other chromosome, and Jesus isn't God.
When God didn't say my transgender, he said my son.
Yeah, he was a trans person.
No,
A Jewish trans
but
person.
that term
But-
wasn't available
Not true
at
at all.
that time. They couldn't label that. because
Nothing
it
in the
wasn't-
Bible suggests
Wait,
that
wait.
Jesus was transgender
I
ever.
want you to realize what he just said. God said, "That's my son," which
Right.
means God was accepting of a trans child.
Where in the Bible does it say that Jesus was transgender or suggest that he was transgender?
Immaculate conception. And he
Immaculate.
That
called
is
himself he.
Why does are you saying that women can that women can just clone themselves?
No, I'm saying that he had XX chromosomes.
What does immaculate conception mean?
It means there was no contribution by a man.
No, it means that he was put into Mary's womb by God.
How?
It doesn't mean he was transgender.
Do they explain that in the
So
Bible,
in other
though?
words, your God raped Mary at 13 or 14 years old. Is that you don't
No,
know?
she wasn't raped.
Yeah.
She didn't know about it. That makes
Yeah.
great.
She did know about
She
it.
didn't know that
No,
she was
she
pregnant.
didn't know until she was pregnant.
If they're God, they let you do it. They grab them by the.
All right, listen. If you guys want to claim that Mary was raped and that Jesus was a transgender, then you guys need to look in the own mirror, because you're telling me that I'm such a hateful person, and then you want
No,
to disrespect
we're not
my
hateful.
religion.
We're just trying to
No.
inspect
I'm
your
trying to be
logic,
here in
and
good
your
faith
logic
and-
isn't logicking. Because
Yeah,
you
basically-
want to accept one thing that follows logic, and then you tell us that immaculate exception.
Listen, if you ever want me to agree with people like yourselves, it's not going to work.
I don't
by
want you to agree with
disrespecting
me,
my
sir.
religion.
I want you to have a solid foundation on your logic. I don't
I
care
do.
about you agreeing with me. No, you don't. You haven't been able to explain anything the entire time you've been up here.
I have.
We're even using your book and not science papers anymore.
Yeah, you're using my book and drawing a conclusion that Jesus was a
Based on what
transgender
it
because
said.
of immaculate conception. That makes no
Yes,
sense.
that means he was XX. There was no XY. Or
That
you
do-
have to
that
accept that he was
doesn't- that
raped
doesn't-
by God.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's
David
how
Copperfield.
reproduction works.
Jesus in the Old Testament was referred to as him as son.
Oh, now you're going to the Old Testament and you're going to
I mean,
believe
you can
in
read
the,
Isaiah
not the
53.
new covenant.
What does it
Now
say?
you're not part of the new covenant. What is wrong with you?
The
What
Old
is wrong with
Testament-
your Christianity? That you are now Jewish?
Gosh.
Are you a Jewish person now? Are you
Does the
someone
Bible
that follows
include the Old Testament?
the
Are there
Torah?
not 200,000
Do you
cross
follow the
references?
Torah? Do you follow the Torah now?
No, I think the Torah reaffirms what's going to happen. And like I said,
so you jump back and forth between
Hey, hold
Christianity.
on. I got a question
No.
for
Not at all.
E.D. Roy said the Jewish tradition recognizes multiple genders. You know that, right?
no, it's not true either.
Yeah, they
Yeah, it
do.
is
I can name
actually.
on top of them.
It's about 7 to 8 genders they actually believe. That's why I asked you what was Jesus. Jesus was a Palestinian Jewish person, which again, if we supposed to believe and respect everything Jesus said, Jesus believed that there was multiple genders.
Where did it say that?
You didn't know this?
No, never. Where did it say that?
Yeah, maybe you should actually pick up your Bible and start reading, my
But
guy.
actually,
what
it's
Bible
not.
verse?
It's not really in the Bible. It's more lines of. Hold on one second. I got somebody calling me. I got.
Where does it say that Jesus was Palestinian in the Bible, or that he was?
It's on the
He already
placement.
explained that to you.
Based
Nobody's
off
going
of
backwards
based
and-
off of based off
Do you
the
think-
region.
Do you think that Palestine was around when Jesus was
None
born?
of these names was around when he was there. But again, based off of everyone knows, even some of you white supremacists know that Jesus was a Jewish person.
Am I a
that was-
white supremacist now?
Yes, you are. You have been
Yeah,
the
you
entire
are.
time. That's why you named yourself Whitey.
My
My
last
guy,
name is
you
White.
can't play this game with me. I've seen
Host, do
you
you
on
see
panels
why I'm a
before.
Republican? Because these people are.
I'm
inside.
glad that you're a Republican, but the problem is, sir, is that you
could
can't
never-
back
I
up
could never be
anything
on the
that you
same
say
side as
about
you.
your
You're
Republicanness.
absolutely whacked out of your
So
mind.
if you would get to the point where you actually said something that you stand on, other
How many genders does the Jewish tradition recognize?
Over and over again in the Old Testament and in the
right,
New
and who
Testament.
wrote those books, sir?
The apostles, the people that
How
followed.
many years afterwards, sir?
Well, the Old Testament came way before Jesus.
I'm not talking about the Old Testament. We're talking about Jesus.
The New
So did
Testament
Jesus
was
come in the
written
Old Testament?
around
sir?
30 to 60 years after
Okay.
Jesus'
So
death.
afterwards, so that means that when they threw out some of the Bible that was actually written
you're
by
telling
women,
me-
they threw
wait a
out
minute.
some of the people, some of the actual parts that were thrown out, actually written
So
by
what
women.
parts? What
was
parts
it that?
suggested
Oh, there
that he
were
was
parts that were
transgender?
written by there weren't parts that were written by women.
What parts there were?
I'll
What
go
parts?
ahead and
Oh,
take
The
hold
book
on.
of
You
Enoch.
just lied. I knew I wasn't tweaking. You just lied. So no,
Lied about what?
Bethlehem wasn't in Rome. It was under Rome occupation.
It was
wasn't
part of
in
Rome.
Rome.
But
It was under Rome occupation.
That's
I knew I
part of
wasn't
Rome.
tweaking
It's the
because
same thing,
I heard
dude.
some. No. It's not a. It's
Look up
not
when
in
Palestine
Rome.
became a thing.
That's like
It's
saying
not in Rome. Saying that it's in Rome means that it's actually
Under
in
Rome,
the physical
occupation is
location.
Roman land,
No,
dude.
it was Roman
Who
occupation.
killed Jesus?
right.
Was it
That's
the
like
Romans?
saying Puerto Ricans are part of the
Hey,
United
I
States
wasn't
of
tweaking.
America.
It's not the
Hey,
same.
I want
Hey, Puerto Ricans.
I want to respond to back what he said, the multiple genders. According to the Talmudic gender categories, there are 6 different genders within the Jewish tradition,
It's a good thing I don't follow the Talmud.
but it's
that
part
is
of
the
the tradition.
interpretation.
Well, I'm not Jewish. I'm Christian.
There is
Wait,
no.
who do
The,
you?
the Talmud has nothing to do with the Bible.
Wait,
It
hold on.
does. It's the literal interpretation.
No, that's the Torah. You're conflicting the two. The Talmud is written by
No, the Torah
rabbis.
is the book. The Talmud is the interpretation by scholars.
No, listen. You're right. It's an interpretation by rabbis years after the fact.
It was
And
written.
you're right.
You established
Transgender,
that
the whole
30 years
transgender
after Jesus
ideology
was
does come
alive,
from Jews. You're
30
right.
years
what
after
is it?
Jesus
It's a
was
Jewish law.
alive, these
Hold
people
on.
interpreted
Yeah.
Jesus' teachings. It's interesting how time can go
The
by,
Talmud,
and yet you
people in the
believe in the
Talmud
thing.
didn't believe in
Yet
Jesus.
you
They
believe
didn't
in the
study
thing
his
that was
teachings.
written
what
thousands
we're
and
talking about.
thousands of years ago, and you have decided that even though a king has his version, and that's the one that you probably follow, and that you
I don't
can't
follow that
even
version.
you don't even know that there's other books like the Book of Enoch. That now
do
we're
know
supposed to
about that.
believe in the ideas that you put forward and your interpretation.
Obviously, I know about the
Not
book
the
of Enoch.
interpretation of scholars,
You're
but the
just assuming
interpretation of
things and you
someone
sound
who
stupid.
comes on the internet named Whitey.
My last name is White.
Hey, who's Abraham?
Abraham is a
Yeah.
prophet in the Bible, in the New Testament or the
And-
Old Testament.
And what are the 3 Abraham religions?
Are you really questioning my intellect?
What are the 3 Abraham
Judaism,
religions
Islam, and Christianity.
that follows what? They all
That
follow the
follows
same.
Yahweh, Allah, and God.
They all follow. Allah just mean God and
And so does
Arabic.
Yahweh. Same thing.
Yes, and they all follow the same person, same
Yeah.
religion, same belief, just taught a little
No,
different.
the difference is that the Jews and the Muslims don't believe that Jesus died for their sins. It's
Yeah,
the
and
big
okay,
difference.
that's cool.
And Jesus
Most people
brought a new
don't
covenant.
believe
But
that.
they do
have
recognize
to
him
sacrifice
as
sheep
a
and-
prophet, though. They are.
No,
they
the Jews
recognize
don't
him.
recognize Jesus as a prophet.
Yes,
the
they
Muslims
do. Yes, they
No,
do
they don't.
recognize
You're
him
They
as a
wrong.
again,
prophet.
Only the Muslims do.
most
You're wrong.
people don't believe Jesus unalive for their sin. You thought
Most
Jesus a
people
few
do.
seconds ago
Christianity
was
is the largest
God.
religion in the world.
No, not all Christians believe that neither.
Yes, they
you,
do.
A few
That's what being
seconds
a
ago,
Christian
you
is.
literally just said that Jesus was God, and if you actually read your Bible, Jesus is not God.
Yes, he is.
He never
So
claimed to
even
be
you
God.
mess up. No,
He did
he's
claim
not.
to be God. He
Jesus
did.
is not God.
Okay, read
Jesus
John.
never
Read the
claimed to
book
be
of
God
John
in the
when he says,
Bible.
"I
He
am
never
who I
claimed.
am."
Hey,
John 3:16.
John for love of God and gave it of own begotten Son.
And he's referencing
But
what
that
God told
doesn't.
Abraham during the
That
burning
doesn't
bush.
negate that he was God.
agree,
Jesus
he
for
is God.
years. No. Before he was put on the cross, his whole ministry was. I used to be a preacher. Okay, this is my kind of thing here. So what Jesus taught is for his followers to follow God, and Jesus was an example, the direction of how people should live. But he never claimed to be God at all.
No.
Yeah, this is why they was taught God,
What about
Son,
John?
and the
What
Holy
about John
Spirit.
8:58? What did he say?
John 8:58.
John said that. John
say?
said that. What did John say? Because that's
What
John
did John
saying.
say Jesus said?
John 8:58 verse.
58.
wait.
What does he say?
You going off of
And then
third
John
party.
10:30. What does he say?
Show me where Jesus
In
said
Mark,
and
in
red
Mark 2,
writing.
5-7. what does he say?
Whitey. Show
What?
me in red writing where Jesus said that he was God. Because even Jesus taught
Jesus
God,
didn't
Son,
write anything in
and
the
the
Bible.
Holy Spirit. He never put himself as God. God, Son, and
Okay,
the
what does
Holy
John 30
Spirit.
say? You're claiming that. What does John 30 say?
Well,
Who words is
according to John 8:58, all he said, "I am who I am." He had no.
No, it says before Abraham was I am. Okay, then what does John
No,
30 say?
according to Jesus, it says here in Greek, it's Yego him, which it echoes Exodus 3:14, where God said, "I am who
Yes,
I am." But
correct.
Exodus,
Absolutely
I know,
correct.
but Exodus was in Old Testament
What was the
scripture.
story? Yes, and he's referencing the Old Testament. And what was the story in the? And I just said this 2 minutes ago. What was happening in Exodus in that story? And he was talking about Abraham.
Let me look that up. Hold on.
You don't have to look it up. Look at John 10:30.
John 10:30.
Yeah. And then after
John 10:30.
9.
He said, I and the Father is one. He doesn't say that I am God.
It says I and the Father are one.
Yeah, I and the Father are one is not saying I am God.
Absolutely it is.
No, it's not. Prove that. Because doesn't he tell you to be more
Okay,
like God?
I'll prove that with John 14:9.
Okay. Well, the claim that he's making, that you're referring to, has to do with the fact he's a unified unity claim.
Yes,
as
the
what-
Holy Trinity. Correct.
but he
But what?
was and not elevating himself to be God. He is
Okay.
beside
What
God.
about John 14:9?
Oh my God, dude! I'm breaking every one of them. Dude.
You're trying to break everyone, but you just don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I could just keep going with this.
I'm not gonna waste my time with you anymore. I'm done.
Well, you should learn if you're going to argue it. Maybe you
I
should
know what
it.
I'm talking about. You don't.
What does it say in John 14:9?
What does it say? Yeah, because I'm looking at it. What does it say?
I already know what it says. I want the host.
So go ahead and say it.
Host will say it.
No, I want you to say it. Because it's not saying what you think it's saying.
No,
So tell me what it says.
Listen, let the host look at it, and then
No. Hey, lock in with me.
I'm already in, dude. I already know
What does it
says.
say?
I'm testing you.
What does it say?
Host, you see it?
I see it, but that does not indicate that he is God. He is.
Why not?
He's a manifestation of the representation of unity. Because you and I, according to the Bible, you and I can become as one with God. So Jesus was not elevating himself to be God, but he was able to unify with God. There's a difference.
Okay, there's no difference.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, if you reference the Old Testament and then you reference the New
The
Testament,
Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the Trinity. Please open your hymns and your books so that we can glorify all three entities, the Trinity. If we don't believe in those three things, then you're not part of this denomination. So again, Whitey has decided that other people's religion, if it does not follow his doctrine, are negated. Thank you, Whitey. Yet again, you have decided that only your faction of Christianity is valid. Continue, sir, to be a Christian fundamentalist and fall with the rest of them, sir.
Yeah, I'm about to go get my Sunday gym workout on, but he tells, what's the name? I have been with you all this time, and you still don't know who I am. That's not saying that he was God.
okay, did God?
That's not saying that he's God.
Has anyone else claimed to be God?
We diverted from the original conversation regarding to the
He is resurrected and rose from the dead. What other
let's
human
get
ever
back
did
on
that?
that topic, okay? We derived it from too far away. So
They were just testing. They were testing what it says about God in the Bible, and I just want to say that he's a man. He's never referenced as a woman.
he's portrayed
never
as
referenced
a
as a
man,
transgender.
but the Bible also said, according to heaven, there be no Jew, no Palestine, no gender, no male or female within the heavens.
Yeah, it does say that.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's halfway to the point. How does a trans man refer to themselves in gender?
They call themselves transgenders.
What
Oh
pronouns
my
do they
God.
use?
They use he, she.
No. What pronouns does a trans man use?
Is that a woman that wants to be a man?
That is a trans man. So what do you think it means?
I'm asking you, is that a woman? What?
No, it is biologically female.
Okay, so they would use he, him pronouns.
Okay. So since what chromosomes do you think a trans man has?
A woman would have an XY chromosome.
No.
No?
X.
No, that would be
No
a
Y.
man.
That would be a trans man. So
That's what
Jesus.
you just asked. You asked what a trans
Yes.
man.
And you were trying to put a Y. There is no Y in that. It's
Are you
X.
saying that when you change your gender, that your chromosome changes?
No,
with it?
what is being said to
Follow.
you can't follow the conversation. You didn't even understand what was being said.
I listen. I do understand. I think
No,
this
you
person,
didn't understand
Julia,
what's being stated. Yet again,
you
you're
can't
going to
change
repeat
your
the wrong
chromosome based
statement.
off of your.
You don't
It's
even
not
know what was
justice.
being stated. Is the problem.
I
You
do
don't
know
even
this.
you can't even follow the information that was being given to you. That's the problem. It's not that you have the opposite.
You claim to
opinion.
be all peaceful
You don't
and all
know.
loving,
You don't
but
have
you
the
hate
no.
Christians,
You don't have the
you hate
wherewithal.
me, you hate
You don't
everyone.
have the wherewithal to have the
You
conversation.
hate me because
You
I
don't
don't want
have
to
you don't have
fornicate
a
with another
brain.
man.
You don't have
Sick
a
of that.
brain strong enough to actually have a conversation. And so you can't even be trusted when someone says something straightforward to you to respond because you don't even know what they said.
Listen,
I just don't
you
trust.
claim to be all
or like
loving and all
stupid
respectful,
people.
and
No,
all you've
I
done
don't
is
like
try
that.
to degrade me as a person and use
Oh, no,
ad
no, no.
hominem
I'm
to try
saying
to
you can't be
disprove
a
what I'm
man
saying.
just because you hit 18. You are a child who actually
not a
roots
child.
around in
I'm an
dirt
adult.
and mud. No, I said just because you've hit the age of 18 does not matter. You are not a man because you don't actually fulfill the rudimentary ability to put the things on the list to make you a man. You are a child, a
Are you
baby,
the
a
arbiter
boy,
of who's
a
a man
little
and
boy.
who's a,
I am
who's
in
a,
this
who's a
particular
child?
arena. I am because I get to decide
Well, then,
your
do we
actual
all have to
definition.
consult with
Yes.
you to determine who's a
Yes,
child and who's an adult?
absolutely, absolutely, yes, yes.
That's extremely egotistical.
But who said that we have
In
to
the
be
red-
all loving? Whoever suggested that?
Jesus.
I don't follow Jesus.
Okay, well then that's a
So
separate.
I don't have to be
That's a
nice to
separate
you.
argument. You don't have to be all loving, but I wouldn't claim to be all accepting and open-minded and be a loving
No, I don't like
person
stupid people.
if you just
Stupid people aren't
completely
welcome
hate
here.
Christians for their belief. It's
No,
it's
no,
contradictory.
No, you're not a Christian. I hate to break
Me?
this to you, bud. So no, and we're gonna try. I'm gonna see if
Why
you can
am I
like be
not
a
a
big boy.
Christian?
Be a big boy and let me finish a couple sentences without interrupting me, okay? Can we do that? All right, good. So what you're doing up here is called blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Which is the only unforgivable sin. You are using the name of Jesus and God as a way to go out into the world and do evil. You are preaching hate when Jesus told you to love. And just because you just mentioned transgender people because you're just weird, Jesus in the red letters, okay? Jesus replied, not everyone can accept this word, but only those to whom it has been given. For there are eunuchs who were born that way, and there are eunuchs who have been made eunuchs by others, and there are those who choose to live like eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. The one who can accept this should accept it. Again, in the red letters, you can go on and scroll on. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. And actually two more real quick. Matthew 25, you might need to go read that one. That one's a whole big long one. I won't read it all to you, bud. But Jesus in the red letter said, what you do to the least of these, you have done to me. So every time you have spewed hate onto one of God's children, whether they believe in Jesus or not, you have done it straight to him. You are spitting in his eye. And where's the very last one I wanted to read you? Oh, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own? Boy, if you don't stop playing with me, because I promise you, you ain't going to win at this. You are a white supremacist, something that Jesus would have never fucking ever endorsed. Number one. Number two, you are up here saying that he's not Palestinian when Bethlehem is in what's modern day West Bank.
Thank you.
And I hate to break it to you, bro, but the Palestinians were indigenous to that land. Hello, not the Romans. And then you also brought up the Romans, who I think it's funny. You believe a lot of what Paul said, right? You don't believe in what Jesus said. You believe in Paul, bro. Paul was a Roman who hunted down and killed Christians and then just miraculously on the way to Damascus,
Yep.
right, he sees
Exactly.
Jesus. And then the fun part about it is he spent his entire life not teaching what Jesus said. He spent his entire life contradicting Jesus and himself. Be so for real.
You as a cooker.
Okay, can I respond? I didn't bring up anything about Jesus. I said I was a Christian, and these people said that Jesus was a transgender, and I asked them to give me proof, and they couldn't give me any proof of that. And then they said Jesus never claimed to be God, and then I argued that's.
Don't put words
I
in their
never
mouth.
spewed any hate to these people.
You used the Bible.
I never
to try
told
to
them.
attack
I never
transgender
used
people.
derogatory
People
names
should-
against them. I never did any of that. All I was
You played
doing was
verses.
arguing
You
my
don't
faith in
have to do
Jesus.
it. The very fact
So I don't
that you're
know
up
where
here.
you're coming in all hot and
Hey,
angry
hey,
about
hey,
me
Whitey,
being
Whitey,
blasphemous,
stop
because I
complaining.
haven't done any
Hey,
of
because
those
I
things.
lose friends on a regular
Whitey,
basis.
I'm talking. We don't have to use derogatory terms. The very language that you're espousing onto, not recognized.
You guys could be mean to me, but if I say I'm faithful and I
I'm
believe in
still
Christ,
talking
then
here. You
it's
know that,
okay to
right? I'm
be
still
completely
talking here.
disrespectful to me,
Hey,
and
hey,
I
hey,
have to
hey,
just
hey. Listen.
yeah.
The
It just
very
doesn't make
fa-
any
The
sense.
very fact that you don't recognize a trans person, as harmful as it
I do
is.
recognize them. I just
No,
think
you
that
don't.
I don't agree with the way that
See
they are forcing their
that
ideology
phrase
on me.
itself right there. I don't agree. I don't do that. I
Do you
don't.
agree with me?
That's the problem right
Do you
there.
agree with me, host? Can we not agree to disagree? Is that impossible to
It's
do? Everyone has
harmful
to have
though.
the same
It's
opinion.
harmful.
What have I
I
done
will
to
not
harm a
sit-
trans person?
Here's the simple thing. I will not sit down with a Nazi because it makes
Why
me a
am I a
Nazi.
Nazi?
Because you're Christian nationalist.
Yeah.
What do
I
you
don't
think
even
they
know.
are?
I really don't. What? I support my country and I'm a Christian. Therefore, I'm a Christian nationalist.
Yeah.
You support your country.
Yeah.
as
So should I
building
hate my
fascism?
God and should I hate my country? Would that make you happier?
No, we didn't say
No.
that.
There's a difference between nationalism and patriotism, but let's see, since you brought up Romans, I'll bring up Galatians 3:26. We'll start there. So in Christ Jesus, you are all children of God through faith. For all of you who were baptized into Christ have clothed yourselves with Christ. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus. If you belong to Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. So, again, you continue to bring up the transgender thing. And again, you're ignoring what I just told you Jesus said in red. He
Do you
said
think
to love,
these
not
people are
hate. He
baptized
said
in the name
love.
of Christ?
He said to love and not hate. Period.
I
Point
don't
blank. He
hate
also,
anyone.
hang on. I'm gonna also say this too. It doesn't matter what someone's religion is. Jesus never told you to legislate people's fucking beliefs.
I agree.
No. God
I don't
explicitly.
disagree.
I don't give a
When
shit.
have I done any of these things?
I'm going to fucking finish what I'm saying because this is the fucking point. Jesus has never once ever supported fucking forcing beliefs on somebody. Number one.
I agree.
Number two.
That's why I'm
supports-
agreeing to disagree.
God supports free will over and over in this Bible.
tell it to these.
Stop
You're-
interrupting her. God damn it. Come on.
She's like she thinks she's like winning this argument when I
Well,
haven't
of
done
course
any
she
of
is,
this.
because you're a liar. At the beginning of this conversation, you actually stated that you, as a voter, that you put into place the things that you want to happen and see the nation as. And so you are
that's
actually
my right.
contradicting yourself from the beginning of this conversation.
Should I
and
vote
she
against
just
how
said
I
to
believe?
you, and she just said to you that you aren't supposed to legislate these things, and you said, "I don't."
Okay, so
I
as
just
a
want to
follower of Christ, I shouldn't
disagree.
vote? Is
I
that what you're
agree to
saying?
disagree. So you just said a complete falsity.
You
so
have
thank you
the
yet
ability
again
to
for
vote.
being
I'm
a
not stopping
hypocrite
your ability to
and
vote.
a liar.
I am not doing anything that prevents you from voting, dude. I vote, you vote. We can both
You're not
disagree on
voting
certain
Jesus'
topics,
teachings.
and we can
Stop
still
trying to
vote.
say that.
And you're telling me that I'm not a follower of Jesus when you were telling me that
Yeah, you're
Jesus was a
not.
transgender. That's insane.
You didn't
guys-
vote with Jesus.
Hey,
If
hold
anything,
on.
the people, the girl, radical girl, is way more blasphemous than I am.
Whitey.
What?
All right, I brought up TikTok up here. He's a good friend of mine. Do you want to say something to TikTok?
Don't put me on the spot, man.
I was being very friendly with the host, and then you people came in and started being very disrespectful. We were having a great conversation.
You
I know
disrespected
you heard
me before I was
you
even
heard
up
a
here.
woman's voice, and it really triggered you. But I know
That's not
I know.
at all true. I love women.
I'm sure you do.
You love
And
women?
let's talk about this. You're not doing anything. So that name, I'm just going to assume right off the bat,
My
you
last
consider
name is
yourself
White.
Republican or conservative.
My last name is White.
I'm sure it is. You voted for Donald Trump, did you or did you not?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay. All right. So right there, in and of itself, everything that man stands for is Antichrist. Ain't that wild? That's so crazy.
Do you think Jesus would support abortions?
Yes, he was for free will, honey. I hate to break this to you.
Oh,
It's in the
okay, so
Bible.
The Bible,
my free will,
Wait.
my free will
the Bible
doesn't
in the
exist,
Old
but your
Testament.
free will does.
Hey,
That's
hey,
interesting.
Whitey, the Bible in
I
the
can't
Old
have free
Testament.
will,
The Old
but
Testament.
you can have free will to
I'm
kill
still
your
talking.
children.
I'm still
It's
talking.
interesting.
The Bible indicates.
Where does that logic come from?
Can you stop interrupting me? I'm trying to tell you that there. I forget what scripture it is, but there is a scripture where a woman had it was a drink that was made by a rabbi to drink to force a miscarriage. That's a
Yeah.
form of abortion back in the day because they didn't have
Bitter
the
waters.
technology that we have today.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I mean, you want to sit there.
Jesus,
hang
even
on.
though he knew you in the womb, before the womb, that
I
he supports
don't care.
your
Like
mother
that's
killing
one
you.
of,
Yeah, thank you,
that's
Brian.
one of. Hang on, that's one of those that like is always used by like pro-lifers, but y'all ignore all the rest of the scripture. It's so wild.
What
like
scripture
go over to
incentivizes
Isaiah.
you to get an
Go
abortion?
over to
Please tell
Isaiah. Go over to Isaiah chapter 10. And I
Yeah.
want you to read it real quick. How it says, "Woe to those who make unjust laws of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people, making widows their prey and robbing the fatherless." That is one of like about 100
that doesn't
different
support
scriptures.
abortion. None
Oh
of that
no,
supports
no, no, no.
abortion at
I'm
all.
going to finish saying this.
Actually goes
Nowhere
against
in the
it.
Bible do you find any hero of the Bible who was going along with the government of their time, like licking their boots
So I should
and
disagree
saying,
with
"Oh,
the government
Whitey,
allowing
I know you don't
abortion."
want me to finish this, but I'm going to because this is important."
not making any
you
sense.
always. No. You need to read the book that you're trying to like bash people over the head with because I'm just going to be real clear.
I
and I'm going
didn't
to shut
try
up.
to bash anyone
I
over the head
will say
with. I'm
this
just
and I will
disproving
shut
what you guys
up.
are saying.
I will say this and I will shut up. And then you can talk
I
all
didn't
you
bring up
want.
the Bible.
Okay?
Other people did.
Zip. Okay? Zip. Every hero in the Bible, including Jesus himself, stood up to the governments and the fucking Pharisees of their time, the hypocrites who were taking rights away from marginalized communities and fucking persecuting them.
Yeah, so stop taking my rights away.
No. Taking bodily autonomy away from women, which is fucking
Where does
wild
it say
anyway.
that in the Bible?
Oh no, I'm gonna shut up because if you actually
Okay.
read and studied Jesus, you would know that Jesus was rather progressive with women of his day. Paul came
Jesus
in and
never
stole the
supported
church.
abortion,
Honey, I'm going to
ever.
fucking say this. Mary Magdalene was the one that was supposed to get the church after Jesus' death. You see, Jesus revealed himself to women, right, when he was resurrected. Women are the first one who saw that. He also trusted a woman to go and spread the word about him. And oh yeah, that one story about Martha and her sister and how like the one of them, the Martha was over there doing like normal, traditional, womanly duties that you would call them. And said, "Hey, Jesus, tell my sister publicly teaching women across fucking that entire fucking goddamn continent over there. So just sit down and stop pretending you have a fucking clue what you're talking about. Because goddamn it, you really are just fucking infuriating at this point."
Now, Whitey, can you explain to us what the bitter waters are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think whoever the lady was that's preaching the Bible to me should read.
And Whitey continues not to know anything about the Bible.
You knit me together in my
he knows
mother's
everything
womb.
about.
Your
Whitey
eyes
doesn't know
saw
anything.
my
Whitey
unformed
went and
body.
looked up
All
some
the
stuff
days
on
ordained
Google,
for me
and now he's
were
here to
written
tell us about Christian
in-
nationalism.
I don't need
Whitey,
a
when you
Google, I'm
go
in my
on
Bible.
4chan later, you tell them you failed.
I don't even know what 4chan is.
tell your little handlers that go along with Mr. Nick Fuentes and the little, traditions that he wants you to follow.
I don't know what 4chan is, dude.
You know everything about all those things. And you know that when you go and you let them know that you spent enough time on the internet spreading YT supremacy, that you win, buddy. You got jumped in.
What
you
is
got jumped
YT
in and
supremacy? What
you
is that?
went through the gauntlet. You went through all of the things you needed to. You got yourself a colored guy. You got yourself
are
a
only
woman.
black people
You got
transgender?
yourself somebody disabled. You got your somebody that was transgendered, and you got all of them to talk to you, sir. And you were able to withhold all of the hate that you have in your heart and spill it out
I don't have
just
any
for
hate,
everybody
dude.
here.
It sounds
But
like you hate.
weren't
You
able.
hate me.
You weren't. I do. I hate you. So what
Yeah,
I want
see?
you to make sure you understand is that hate in my heart for you does not extend to other people like you. It's just you. But you hate people that look like me. You hate people that look like radical Jezebel. You hate people
Really?
that are have a rainbow flag. You hate them all. And
don't
just
hate
because you
anyone.
say with your words that you don't, we can feel your hate. Because as I stated from the beginning, denying the
I can feel your
ability
hate,
to
that's for sure.
denying your ability to educate yourself on something that you claimed
You
that
want
you
me
were
to believe
educated
that
about,
Jesus was a
that you
transgender?
claimed that you were educated about.
Everything
that
you've been
means
trying
nothing.
to teach me is
you
just
have
completely
actually
false.
shown no intelligence whatsoever. So if you were ever sat down in a class that actually taught you about gender studies, you would at least be able to fight against
I sat there
any of
and
the
I
things
learned
that
everything
people
you
were
guys-
stating.
you're
You
spewing.
haven't been
It's
able
all
to make a
bogus.
claim to combat anything anybody up here has said
I have.
at all.
I have.
When Radical Jezebel explained all of those things, you didn't come back with things to counter
Radical
what she said.
Jezebel.
You just went, so you're
is
telling me
spewing
that
blasphemy,
I
saying
hate
that
God.
Jesus supports abortion.
So you're telling me
It
that's all
literally
you've been
says
able
in
to do is
Exodus
say. So you're telling me you
20:13
hate
to-
me.
Yeah, you shall
haven't
not
been able to
murder.
say anything
It says
that
in
is a
Psalms
response
that
that
demons-
has any basis at all. So
And,
so
and
when you
Jeremiah
get ready,
even says
when
it.
you
It
get
says,
ready,
before I
Whitey,
formed you in
to
the womb,
say
I knew
anything
you.
intelligent,
Before you were
we
born,
will
I set
listen.
you apart.
Hey, buddy, I'm gonna shut up after this because I had to go look this up because
Yeah.
I don't have it marked in my Bible here. But let's see. So I know you know Genesis, right? Hopefully you do,
Yeah.
because Genesis is pretty clear. Life begins at first breath. You can read that in Genesis chapter 2. Now you brought up Exodus. Now Exodus is fun. Exodus actually has an entire section, right? That it's talking about if people are fighting and hit a pregnant woman and she gives birth prematurely, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. That literally is making a difference between someone who is already
Nothing to
living
do with abortion.
and a pregnancy, bud. I hate to break it to
Where
you.
in Exodus does it say you should get an
Holy
abortion?
fucking shit.
Please tell me.
That fucking
We'll
part
read
I
it
just
together.
gave you, dude. Why don't you
We'll
fucking
read it
go
together,
read it?
you
Go
and I.
read it. Now,
I know
I'm
you're
gonna
really
finish
angry.
my-
We'll read it
I
together,
know you don't
you and
want
I.
WWJD, not this fucking shit. I tell you that. Hey, Deuteronomy,
You and I, we can read it
chapter
together.
30. Deuteronomy chapter 30. I think this one's fun too. This one's about choice, right?
Yeah.
So this day I call the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you, and I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life. Choose was exclusively pretty fucking important there.
So
And
do you
then
think
Romans
choosing to
14:5.
sin is in Jesus' will? Because you have free will and you're allowed to sin, do you think that goes with God's heart? Do you think he wants you to kill your child or your offspring? That's your argument?
But
Because
see,
you have free
no,
will,
Hold,
you should
hold,
kill your
hold
child.
on, hold on. Okay. You want to talk about that kind of morality? You vote a fucking rapist. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
You cannot sit here and talk about morality when yourself voted for a criminal rapist.
Before you guys all voted for the Clintons and they were out.
Fuck
Jeffrey
the
Epstein's
Clintons,
brother.
okay? Fuck the Clintons. They're not in office
You're
right
not
now.
old enough to vote for Clinton.
Hey, Whitey, do you think that we should feed people?
What?
Could,
I think people
is,
what?
is my
Yeah,
microphone
let's
turned
bring
up
up
enough?
Wick.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, TikTok.
Oh, do you think we should feed people?
Yeah, we should feed people.
Right. So we should give everybody food then. right? Like
I
that should
think
be
that the people
a
who need
national
food should have
policy. Is
food,
that nobody in this?
absolutely.
I was almost done. It should be a national policy that nobody in this country should go hungry.
Yeah, it
Do you
should.
agree?
Yes.
What about universal health care? I don't. Hey,
I think
Julie,
that
you've got a lot
the
of
host and I
background.
were talking about this. I think that a lot of the drugs and medical devices are way overpriced because they conspire with their insurance companies. And
Okay,
you can go
that's
to
not what I
Europe or
asked though.
Canada, and you can.
I said, do you think everybody in this country should like? I don't care about
Everyone
that
already
stuff will
has
be taken
access to
care of.
healthcare. It's already
Holy fuck,
universal.
dude! Hey, man, hey. Like, I don't know if you think your words are important, you need to wait till I'm done talking.
All right, I'm waiting.
Because I can't hear the words you're saying if words are coming out of my.
Okay,
It's just
okay.
how conversation works, man. Right? Like you're still doing it though. Cool. So I don't care about the insurance. That stuff will be taken care of. Do you think personally that everybody in this country should have universal health care?
We already do.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
They're not allowed to deny you healthcare.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
not what I'm
fucking
talking
God.
about.
That's
Hey,
universal.
no, don't let them do this. That's not universal health care, is it, Whitey?
We're talking about insurance, which that's referencing universal healthcare. What you're
Okay,
talking
I'm going to
about.
use my words very carefully.
Yeah.
Everybody in this country should be able to receive universal health care. Do you agree?
I agree that people that are disabled and can't pay for themselves and work
Oh
for
my
themselves
fucking
deserve universal health care. I
Oh,
don't believe
hey,
that
did
I
Jesus
think,
say that only people who are disabled and who can't work for themselves? Did he say
No,
that
but-
only
but
those
guess
people?
what?
Hey,
Sloth
Whitey,
was
Whitey,
a-
I'm
was
almost
a
done with
7
my
deadly
question, man.
sin,
Once
so.
again, I can't understand your words because I don't know if you know how TikTok works,
You
man.
did the same thing
If
to me.
my
You started
microphone,
talking
hey,
in the middle of
man,
my
you're still
sentence.
doing it. This is really wild. I don't know, like, do you not understand
You
how
did
this
it
works?
too.
Hey, if everybody in this country has universal health care, do you think that'd be more of the lines of what Jesus would want? Or do you think he would want insurance companies denying practices and denying services?
I think Jesus would be more advocate for universal health care.
Okay. Is that what you want?
Yes.
So
we
universal
have it.
health care and universal nutrition across the board for everybody
Yes.
in America, right?
Yeah.
I think you're lying. I think you're
Why
lying
would I
now
lie
because
about that?
you
Ask
because
the
you,
host.
you're
We already
literally
talked
trying to be
about
like,
this
well, we already
earlier.
do have.
Host, can you back me up here?
Okay.
What's that? I'm
Because you were
sorry.
trying to say we already
Host,
do have
what did I
universal
say
health-
earlier?
Holy
When it was just
fuck,
you
dude!
and I talking.
Hey, man, you asked me a question and then now like you're talking to the host.
Well, I answer and you say I don't believe
you are 18, aren't you? You've never had
I'm
an adult
26.
conversation before, have you? It's fucking wild. So I said, does everybody in America deserve universal health care? And you said, we already have it. You're not advocating for the same thing that I am, are you?
Do I want universal health care like Canada does? No, I don't. Do I want it like some European countries do? No, I don't. I think we have quality health care, and there's a fine line between just affording everyone paying for their insurance through taxes.
Hey, hold on.
What?
Let me talk to you. Why do you not want healthcare like Canada or European? Why?
Well, because I think quality health care is just as important as quantity.
So I lived in
when Jesus-
Germany. I lived in
I think
Germany.
there has to be an incentive for people to study
Ryan,
years
I
he's-
lived
he's
in
take on-
Germany.
sidetracking
I
you,
lived
man.
in Germany.
He's sidetracking you, Ryan.
I understand. What I'm saying is,
So, hey,
is
I wanna-
if you're
I
going to
wanna-
go
I
through
really
8
wanna-
to
I
12
really
years
wanna
of
pin you
schooling
down
and
on
take
this,
on
man.
$2 million of debt, you should be able to pay back that debt within a certain amount of time. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
So when Jesus was healing the blind and healing the man with leprosy, do you think he checked his insurance first?
No, obviously not.
No, I didn't think so either. So you don't want what Jesus wants. You still want the billionaires to be able to
Again,
make money
here we
as
go
long
again.
as.
Mate. You tell me what I want. But no, I want everyone to be healthy.
because you're
Okay.
you're arguing for the billionaires.
No, I'm not at all.
Yeah, you are.
Not even a
You
little
are.
bit. How am I arguing for the billionaire?
Because
Do you
don't
want
support
insurance
anybody.
companies to exist?
No, I don't. I don't
You
think they
don't
should
want
exist.
insurance companies to exist.
I think they're a necessary evil with the way our system's set up, and I don't think they should exist. No. I don't like paying insurance. I think that hospitals and healthcare should be very affordable, and unfortunately, it's not. And I talked about this with the host before you guys came up here, and the host is just not backing me up. I don't know why.
Your support for Donald Trump, though, cancels everything you just said.
Of
Yeah,
course,
Because
it
that
does.
dude,
I know.
no,
I know.
it really does. Because Donald Trump is literally cutting funding for WIC, for food stamps,
He's
Medicaid.
putting a lot of pressure on medical device
No. He's
and
not just
pharmaceutical companies.
He's not. He's on the side of the pharmaceutical companies. But I hate to break this to you. He's actually hurting nothing
That's
but
not
poor
true at
people.
all.
Honey, I can go and back up what I'm saying.
Look up
Can
who
you?
Pfizer and Johnson &
Holy
Johnson
shit.
donate most of their money to. It's all the blue.
Okay,
You can
I'm
go-
going to
it's-
finish what I'm
it's- you
saying
can go look
because
at it.
I don't care about that part because the fucking fact is Democrats have tried over and over and over again to get some kind of universal health care. Even with Obamacare, Republicans stepped in and said, no, we can't do that. No, and all of those like insurance things that happen there, yeah, all those penalties, you can thank Republicans for that. Now, Donald Trump is defunding Medicaid. He's taken away from WIC, so all them pregnant women that you pretend to care about and all those fetuses, yeah, they're not going to have the nutrition that they need now if they're like super fucking poor. Ain't that great?
We'll
If
just
they
get them
need,
aborted, right?
you know,
We'll
the
just
red
kill the
states
baby.
red states when a woman needs an abortion to save her life, she's being denied. I'm sure Jesus would love that. Everything you're saying is literally canceled out by your support for Donald Trump. Again, because Donald Trump, he stands for nothing but everything that's anti-Christ.
I don't think Christ supported abortion at all. I don't know where you keep getting this information
Well,
from.
that's just it, man. You know
Maybe
the
when
number
we
one
stop
reason for
talking, you hear
abortion,
it.
right?
What's up?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
The number
us.
one reason for abortion is financial.
No.
Right.
But
So
it's
if we
part
were
of it,
able
yeah.
to help, right, if we were
Yeah.
able to help people to be able to afford and not have the fear of having a baby, because
Yeah.
we all know that's a
I
financial
agree. I think we should do our
Holy
best to help
fuck,
people.
dude, Whitey.
Bro. What, dude? What are you gonna say?
Hey man, I'm literally just saying words. I have like 7 seconds worth of words to say, and your brain can't shut the fuck down for long enough for me to say 7 seconds. You gotta stop interrupting, man. Every time I talk, I have to ask you not to interrupt me. Have you noticed that? You can answer.
I already got
I
to
asked
your
you.
point. I already got it.
Okay. Yeah, so let me finish,
I already answered.
right? I'm sorry?
I already answered what you were gonna ask.
So that's just it. I didn't hear your answer because I was still talking. So I'll reiterate once again.
Okay, keep
If
going.
you think your words are important, you should wait till I'm done talking so I can hear them.
Okay.
Okay. Holy fuck. And you've successfully knocked me off my course and I have no idea what I was talking about.
It's
Is
because
that
his
your
daddy's
intention?
pullout
You were-
game was
you were-
weak. That's the only
Is
reason
that
we
your
have to deal
intention?
with this piece of
you-
crap is
hold
that
on.
his daddy's pullout game was weak. He smacked her upside the head and
all right,
said,
getting out
"I'm
of here.
done."
You guys are so hateful.
Whitey
Like,
is
you don't even wanna
Whitey is
talk.
the
You don't
failed
wanna-
experiment of a sperm. He is the worst type of human being.
You're a great man.
Whitey, everything that you do in your life will fail. If you ever watch Color Purple, you are Sir. When you told her to get when your son to beat that woman, you will never do anything right in the world unless you do right by her. You are the worst. Nothing good is coming from you. When you go impotent, thank you for. I'm out of here. Thank
I'm
you so much,
sorry.
sir.
All right.
Oh, I'm only up here for you, fam.